Welcome everybody, this is Toxic Mass Gaming's Not Russian here. I'm playing as Trent Protector, and I'm going to show you a couple more games. I'm going to be playing as Axe, Trent and Tide Hunter. What's the main three things that are in common in those? They're all tanks. Good, nice one. I'm going to be showing you as part of a short series on how to play the different roles in Dota. Firstly, we're going to be playing the tank. And I think next we're going to be doing a ganker, I think. So it will depend on what comes out. But for now I'm going to show you how to play a tank during the laning phase, the mid game and the end game. Now in the early game, laning phase, you're going to want to play passive, very passive. Because a tank really doesn't have a lot of being melee, they can be harassed, they can't harass the enemy effectively most of the time, and you're going to be doing it with your lane partner should be able to harass to keep them from just forcing you out of the lane, but in some circumstances you just can't do that. So the lane build we've got here is I'm playing Trent Protector, and TMG's Bertie, or otherwise known as Azanta, is playing Queen of Pain. We're up against Broodmother and Clinks. Now, just to go through this, we beat them in lane because they're both two very squishy heroes. They're both in stealth based, so if we get a ward in, which I do later on, you're able to force them completely out of lane. Now, say you're fighting two ranged. There's no way a tank can last hit, so you either swap lanes with somebody and bring another ranged into the lane, but you should always have a melee and a ranged. Double ranged is okay, but they tend to be quite squishy. Melee and ranged is a good balance. So when you're playing as a tank, you want to play passive. You want to level up abilities that are going to make you strong. So here I'm going for living armor, and later on I pick up leech seed. You want to be able to get stuff that if you catch an enemy out of position, you can punish them for it. So that's why you want a tank and a burst hero in a lane, because a tank usually has a stun or a slow or something, so it allows you to keep that person, slow them down, catch them out of position, and then you've got the burst hero that takes them down. Similar to any other lane combo, if your lane gets pushed, which it will happen playing a tank lane, purely because you don't do enough damage, so the creeps end up going back to the tower, which kills them, and then it's like slingshots all the way back down to their half of the lane. So you have to stack and pull. Now, stacking and pulling is really easy, but a lot of people don't know how to do it. What you want to do is it's similar to stacking, which I have explained in a guide before. I'll link it somewhere around here. You stack, and then when you've got two stacks of creeps, you pull it out into the lane, and they attack your creeps, which means the lane goes all the way back to the tower and some more, which means basically any advantage the enemy gained by keeping you away from your tower is just got straight back again, because your creeps are here, which means they can't farm. You can farm as much as you like. The only issue with it is they can gank through here, which it's as long as you've got it warded or you're vigilant for it, it shouldn't happen. So here you can see I'm about to stack it. Well, I've stacked it and now I'm about to pull it into lane. So literally you do that, and then you hang around and you last hit, and that's it. Simple as. Now, let me just say this. Playing a tank in a lane is one of the most boring lane combos in the whole game. It's one of the most boring roles ever. I just played in this game 12 minutes and 40 seconds, and not one kill was made in lane. Very boring. It's literally all you've got to do is be vigilant and just not get harassed or harass back, and just try and sneak in a couple of last hits. That's it. Literally, you just want to get to level 6, then you want to force team fights. This is something else that people don't do. Because no one plays as a team when playing Dota, or very few people do, team fights only ever happen out of by accident. So what you want to do is, if you've got a tank and you've got a team build where you've got a lot of AoE stuff, so you've got like Sand King, Trent or Tidehunter, Enigma, Crystal Maiden, people like that. You want to force team fights because you want to make those ultimates win you team fights and make you get further and further ahead, which means you can just farm them. So to do that, you force them to defend a tower. So you get 5 people together and you attack a tower. You can do that, say, well, level 6, so say the 8-minute mark. Once everyone's got their ultimate, especially if you've got Sand King and Tidehunter in your team, or Sand King and Enigma, it's good night nurse for them. So now we're going into the mid game. The tank's role changes. Dota it has so many variables in it. It's got player skill, different heroes, lane combos, positioning. All of these things affect it. You could pick the perfect build, perfect combo, and still lose to 5 carries if you don't have positioning, and you don't have teamwork, and you don't have like skill. So I find tanks quite easy to play. They're frustrating because you die quite often because you have to rely on other people. That goes back to there being a lack of teamwork. But if you get a group of people together who like are communicating, a tank is absolutely amazing because it doesn't die because you have the support. A tank should only die in a team fight because either it gets focused by everyone, which means it fulfills its role, which means none of the other people take any damage, or there's no support, which means he dies, so there's no other people there. So in this position we've attempted to force a team fight. There's Lashrek, Death's Prophet, myself, Queen of Pain. We've attacked this tower, and now there's Drow Ranger, Ogre Magi, and Broodmother, but Broodmother's leaving the fight. We've all just been silenced, and I'm getting ready to pop my ultimate. Here we go. So the rest of their team's turned up. The only person who's not here is Kunkka. They've dusted. Have they? Is that dust? I don't know. Yeah, we've dusted them. Missed the stun. I'm trying to get in position to land my ultimate. Been silenced, stunned. So I'm leaving. See, that's the difficulty. That's the difficulty early game that tanks have. So what you want to do is, you want to make sure that you get Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger is the key to winning as a tank. If you get Blink Dagger early on, it's game over for the enemy team, at least for 5 or 6 minutes. So you need to capitalise on that and just wreck them. Make sure your team gets so far ahead. So now we'll go over to a hero that I have with Blink Dagger. This team fight that's about to occur is a great example of a Blink Dagger being used on a tank to maximise its efficiency. So now I'm playing Tidehunter with my best bird, Zombie. He's playing Lich. I've got Blink Dagger, level 16, I've got Ravage. So just watch what happens. We're going up against, we've got our full team here. Well, I say full, Ricky did nothing this game. Just nothing. We're going up against Ursa, Undying, Dazzle, Viper, Doombringer. Lots of damage. Just watch what happens. Okay, so you want to look for him to bunch up. So Ricky's dead. Here we go, they bunched up. There's the ulti. Zombie dumps his ulti on, Lich's ulti goes in. So you've got, not only you've got that, you've got Anchor Smash, so their damage is reduced by 40%. You've just had Chain Frost just go in. He's not got that sceptered yet, so it bounces round. We will focus down Ursa because he's their main damage dealer right now. Dazzle goes down to Outworld Destroyer's ultimate. Ultimate still bouncing round. Ursa's back up from the reincarnation. We down him quickly. His friends come back in to help, which is I would have slung his hook here. Doom goes down. Viper sticks around, he dies, and then Undying runs away. But that illustrates what you sort of want to be doing in a team fight. I'm going to try and find another one, because I've done a couple of these. I've done quite a few games playing as Tide Hunter, and oh no, I've got one of Axe I can show you. Definitely I've got one of Axe. Axe is like my favourite hero. But that is exactly the sort of thing you want to be seeing. You can do that from as soon as you get Blink Dagger, so that can be from the mid game. You do it all the way up to the end game. You just keep doing it. You keep lining them up. Also, you can do this with Magnus, the new hero. You blink in, you ulti, you suck them all together, and then someone dumps their ulti on top of that. And plus, if you build Magnus right, you can build him into an awesome carry, and he can tank as well, because he's just that imbalanced right now. They buffed him in the recent patch. I couldn't believe it. Well, he's quite hard to play, so I'll leave balance out of it. I'll get back to talking about tanks now. Right, so I'm back playing as Axe, and I've brought Zombie playing as Bounty Hunter. Again, even assaulting a ramp, which you'll have to do later on in the game, it's forcing a team fight. Playing as a tank, you have to initiate. It's your whole role isn't to initiate. So when you're faced with a ramp, my personal opinion is just to go for it and hope that your team backs you, because my team is sort of out of position here, but when you get to this stage in late game, if you've got the farm where you just don't die, you can just dive into any situation, practically anything, and you can just soak up so much damage. Like, watch what happens here. So what you want to do is, you want to jump in, playing as Axe, it's same as Tide Hunters. You want to jump in and you want to hit as many people with your blink, taunt, stun, whatever, slow, damage, whatever. That's what you want to do. You want to hit as many people. In we go. I get 2. I get Tide Hunter and I get Keeper of the Light. So they follow me in. Look, I've been focused so badly. I've got Doom on me. He hit me with no, he didn't hit me with Death, but when these guys come off, I get hit by Ravage, as you'll see. So there's Ravage. I'm still above half health, and I've got Blade Mail up. Blade Mail is an awesome item for tanks because it allows tanks to do so much damage. Look how much damage Tide Hunter took there, purely because he just popped that. We focus down Doom because he's the bigger target. So the team fight is still moving around. During this I've managed to, although Luna died, that was because Luna is our main damage dealer, so she will get focused. That's the thing. When you're playing as Axe, it's quite hard to keep their whole team suppressed. But when you're playing like Tide Hunter or Trent, you can easily suppress their whole team using their ultimate, because it stuns everyone. And with Trent, it stops them attacking, casting, or moving, which is amazing. But the only problem is it doesn't do any damage, so you have to rely on your teammates to do all the damage. So there's your trade-off. It's all about your build. I would say with Tide Hunter and Trent, you want to go Vanguard. You don't want to go any of that namby-pamby build that the guide tells you. You go Vanguard. Then you go into Blink Dagger, well, after getting Power Treads, then you go into Blink Dagger, then you go into either Heaven's Halberd or Heart of Tarask. I would say Heaven's Halberd first, then get Heart of Tarask. You might want to swap out Heart of Tarask for Pipe of Insight, maybe. It depends on what the enemy team builds, heroes wise. If you get more spellcasters, you want to go for Pipe of Insight, obviously. But if you get more melee damage dealers, you want to go for Heart of Tarask, so you just don't die. I like the sound of 88 health regen. It's just something I like, really. So I think I'll conclude it now. I hope you found today's video informative. If you enjoyed it, give it a like. If there was something you didn't understand, please comment. I'll respond as quickly as possible. My name's been ToxicMassGaming's.NotARussian. I'll be bringing more videos like this on ganks, tanks, carries, hard and soft, and supports. For Thursday next week, I'll bring out another one. It'll either be a soft carry or a gank hero. There's a video coming on Saturday. I'm not going to say what it is, but it is secret, and it'll be cool. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.